Hi, good morning. Jennifer from Reimagine Studio. Reimagine Studio is a sanctuary for people that are longing to know the truth about themselves, the world around them, people that are striving for optimization of their own power and energy and their life. Today's episode is a little bit of a follow up on the You Do You Boo podcast that I did a few days ago. I will link that in the comments on YouTube. I felt like there were just a few things that I left out, and other ways and ideas for people to really understand their own energy and how to become more fearless and more powerful. Becoming more powerful and fearless and living your life based on your terms without hurting other individuals looks like choosing authenticity over being liked. So, where are you fitting in with people that you don't even really want to be around just to be liked? Where are you giving your energy in relationships, spaces where you're just not really being your authentic self? If you can sit down and be like, I really just don't want to do this anymore with, a certain person, a certain obligation, your job, whatever it may be, those are things that, they're it's taking your power. It's a power suck. It's a power leak. A lot of people look at that and they're like, oh, whoa, I can't do that. Like, I can't, I can't do that because that would mean leaving my career. That would mean leaving my marriage. That would mean, not talking to my family. Well, guess what? You can do it. I'm a living example. My channel, my vision is built on me living my most authentic self. I cannot I cannot teach this stuff without embodying it myself. That would make me a hypocrite. Okay? That would make me somebody that really isn't, doing what I'm teaching. So you can only take people as far as you have gone. And I have literally stripped everything away in my life that was no longer in alignment. Is it scary? Yes. Is it painful? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. Because on the other side of fear is this freedom that that you have crossed thresholds, that you have looked fear right in the face and you chose yourself. You stayed with yourself. You quit giving yourself away. When the pain of staying in systems, structures, relationships outweighs the fear of leaving, that's when it's time to go. Okay? When you are recognizing that you just don't even recognize who you are anymore. But the thing is, most people don't even know who they are because they don't take time to introspect, to have quiet time in the morning, to, really think, what do I want for my life? Who am I? What beliefs have I been buying into that are complete illusions? Am I working too hard? Am I even enjoying my life? Am I lying to myself? Am I happy? Like, I saw this meme. It said something about, everybody asks you, like, are you married? Do you have a job? Do you, have a house? Like these things are like checklists. But the real question is, are you happy? I mean, we are here. We were designed with senses to touch, taste, feel, and hear. I mean, really embodying that is just like, when you sat down and ate your breakfast this morning, were you like, oh my gosh, this food tastes divine? When you listen to music, are you like, oh my gosh, this is the freaking most awesome drum solo I've ever heard? are you are you like, yeah, this, sadness hurts, but on the other side of it, there's beauty. Because all of it is, it's important. So let me circle back. When being free matters more than being comfortable, that's a sign that you need to move into that space as well. You need to make decisions. Facing your discomfort instead of running from it gets easier and easier every single time you do it. So every time that you show up with your knees knocking, your voice quivering, your hands shaking, that is building your capacity to become more fearless. And honestly, it shocks people. People really don't know how to handle direct, honest communication. I mean, we're just not born that way. We're born seeking approval. We're born dimming ourselves. We're born with this dimmer switch to tone ourselves down so we don't offend other people. So we protect other people from our own power. Crossing these thresholds, it just becomes easier and easier. I encourage you to look at opportunities throughout your day where you can just be more direct. It doesn't have to be anything, super life changing for yourself or other individuals, but look at, an experience you may be having. Maybe it's with, customer service. Maybe it's with your children, but really just start to show up authentically, because you can love somebody and disagree with them. You can love people from a distance. You can hold two polarities at one time. That is power right there, when you're able to see two sides of the coin and not fold. You are staying centered and grounded and in your truth. So this can look like, if you're a pushover with your kids, like I am. My son asked to go somewhere yesterday, and I said, you're not going anywhere until you clean your damn room. And he just kind of looked at me like, whoa. Yeah. So, like, I don't really want to have to talk to my son that way. He's a good kid. He does, gets good grades. He's a musician. He's just a good kid. But sometimes I think we're just, giving people a free pass because we don't want to upset them. We don't want to cause friction. It's just easier to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I did ask you a week ago to clean your room and it's still not clean. Another point that I would like to make too is look at what you're avoiding. If you're avoiding something, that means you're supposed to be looking at it. So human nature would say, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at the fact that my marriage has been in the freaking dumpster for 2 years. I don't want to look at the fact that I chose a career because I was a chronic overgiver, an overfunctioner for other people. Becoming powerful and fearless is moving toward the things that are scaring the shit out of you. Yeah. And another way to really kill something is by comparing it to something else. So, oh, there's a potential here for something. Oh, but I had this similar thing happen. Well, no two things are exactly alike. Okay. I literally had somebody invite me to their house for Easter dinner, and I had only known this person for 10 days. And I was like, yeah, I'll come. For a minute, I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, I don't know you. I don't know your family, but I trusted my instincts. I was like, I'm going to go for this. And you know what? It was one of the most beautiful things that ever happened to me. Like, I just sat there in receiving mode. I came with nothing. I had nothing to give other than myself. And it was a moment that cracked my heart wide open. Because I didn't have to prove anything. I didn't have to be anything other than myself. I didn't have to bring anything. I didn't have to prove my worth. But it was funny because when I was there, I was trying to be helpful in some way. Like, oh yeah, you have a problem with your health. Well, maybe I can help you with that. I could see some ways that I was like trying to extend and feel worth because I came with nothing. I want you to know that you can come with nothing and you are still inherently worthy. We all came here with nothing. Yeah. Seriously, that's how beautiful that experience was for me. It really showed me parts of myself that I was just like, wow. So that's what I'm talking about when you are encountering experiences in your life. Where are you saying no when you should be saying yes? Where are you shutting things down before they even begin? That is where you become fearless. That is where you're crossing the thresholds. That is where you're going into the unknown with nothing but a little headlamp on. I think that's all I'm going to talk about for today. I love you. And until next time.